Hey guys, welcome to chapter 15, the foundation. This is when we put all the pieces together to really realize what the foundational work is that's needed to ensure that we build strong businesses that avoid failure. And so let's get started with this baby right now because I'm very excited to get through this with you. First of all, you've made it to chapter 15, which is insane because you only have one more chapter after this, and that one's a super short one. But this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's get through this together. I'm really excited that you're here with me. And man, let's get it going. All right. So the training you're getting right now is timeless. Ladies and gentlemen, many of these methods, many of these things have been in books for so many years. I mean, you can pick up a business book from 100 years ago, and some of these methods are exactly the same. Now, when it comes to technology and things of those nature, when I talked about creating a podcast and distributing it out in a different way, like maybe back then it was a newspaper, right? And so, times change, things change, but foundational work in business often stays the same. And so the idea here is that because it's timeless, you can pass it on, pass it on, pass it on. See, my goal for you is that you build a business so strong and so amazing that you're actually able to sell it or step away from it and hire a CEO to take your place and run the show. Could you imagine that? Like most real estate professionals, most bicycle salesmen, most lollipop people, they don't even imagine that. They open the store. They open the one store, or the realtor does the one job, or the mortgage lender does the one job. Many don't imagine themselves in a position where they can grow a team so strong, so big, so productive, open multiple stores in different locations, work in different states, expand in so many different ways that it creates an opportunity for you to develop a business that you can put somebody else in place. You be the chairman of the board and have somebody be your CEO and run the day-to-day operations, right? Now, the three fundamentals, we learned this very early on. Never quit, take action, and failure is not an option. Now, let's talk about this. If you never quit, you can't fail. The idea that if I take this bat and I go to hit a baseball, here is probably not a good example, right? Because it's the tiniest little bat in the world. But let me grab this Babe Ruth Louisville Slugger here, okay? If I take this bat and I go to hit a baseball, okay, and I miss, did I fail? No, I didn't. I fail if I take this bat, I throw it on the floor, I walk away, I never play baseball again. However, if I take this bat and I swing again and again and again and again and again, 4,000 swings later, I can't miss a ball for anything in the world, then that's how we're going to put this together. If you never quit, you cannot fail. The important thing is to take action. So that's our second out of the three fundamentals. See, many people will talk about playing baseball. They will talk about being great at hitting the ball. They won't actually go do the work. And so when I said hit 4,000 times until you can't miss, like, dude, like there is not a pitch you can miss because you put so much work into it. You swung this bat so many times in your lifetime. But you took action. You did what was necessary. Many people talk about building a big business, never do it. Many people talk about buying a private jet, never do it. Many people talk about cruising the Caribbean on a yacht and never do it. Many people talk about going to Paris and never do it. Many people talk about going on vacation to the Bahamas and never do it. Many people talk about taking a couple weeks off with their family and going in a motor coach and traveling the United States and never do it. So take action. Make shit happen. The other part is that failure is not an option. We don't allow failure. And that being said is the premise of this entire daggone book. We do not allow failure into our lives. Change the mindset. Get out of the idea that you must fail forward and get into the idea that you must mentor forward, that you must study forward, that you must educate yourself forward, that you must take action moving forward, and that you must succeed forward. Say things that make sense. Forget the statistics. We've talked about this at a high level. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what your background is, what you went through. None of it matters. Forget it. If the statistics say that someone like you is not supposed to be that, forget it. I don't care what your financial situation is, what your sexual orientation is, what your color is, what your background is, what country you're from. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is, are you going to put in the work every day, and will you or will you not quit? Tell time what you wanted to do. We went at this pretty strong in actually a couple different sections. Basically, what we said was we're going to focus on telling time what we wanted to do. We're going to focus on putting value in our time, like time valuement, right? We're going to focus on time management. We're going to organize ourselves so the important things get done in the morning and the day goes on. We're going to create priority lists. We're going to do things the right way. And we're going to spend the right amount of time doing the right amount of things. And we're going to ensure that the things that we do are what? MMAs, money-making activities. Remember to balance your work with life. Not work-life balance, but balance your work with life. There's no one size fits all. No one's going to tell you about some work-life balance crap. Forget about all that stuff. If you want to put an emphasis in work, understanding that you will have to sacrifice some of life, then do it. If you want to put an emphasis on life and you know that that's going to sacrifice some work, then do it. Whatever's important to you, you create the balance that's necessary for you, your family, your life, your business, your financial circumstance, everything else. Mindset is key. Mindset is actually everything. Listen, I don't even know how to harp in on this any further, because mindset is really the piece that molds this together. Mindset is the one thing that really keeps you in a position to do the right thing on a daily basis. It is the mindset that helps you wake up in the morning and do the right thing. It is the mindset that helps you figure out your why. It is your mindset that tells you whether or not you're in the right business to begin with. Because some of you may have gotten halfway through this book and said, I'm in the wrong freaking business. I'm going to do this thing instead, but I'm going to use these tactics to do that because I love doing that. Mindset is everything. The way that you act, the way that you react to situations, all of this matters. And so a strong mind creates a strong soul pushes a strong body pushes a strong effort. The Hero Code, thanks to Admiral McRaven for creating this book. We went into detail based on the Admiral's focus on what a hero is by definition. And we went step by step and talked about everything involved in the Hero Code. And if you can take this and come back to this chapter often, buy his book. It's incredible. It's weird. I'm here trying to get you to buy more of my books and gift it out to friends, but buy his book. I promise you, you're going to absolutely love it. But, the idea of being the type of person that is a hero, being the type of person that people want to be associated with, being the type of person that people want to do business with. Those things are critical. They're important. And I love this chapter. Innovate or stagnate. You can innovate or you can just fall apart. You can be Blockbuster, you can be Netflix, right? And hopefully Netflix innovates when the time comes, because things can change and Netflix may not have the fortitude to understand those changes. They might want to stay exactly where they are and they might fall apart. What's to happen when movies are in like 4 and 5 and 6D? I don't even know what that means. Imagine standing or sitting in your living room and the entire movie's happening around you. Will Netflix have that technology? I don't know. If they innovate, they will. If they don't, they will stagnate and they may fall apart. Your standard operating procedures are pieces of paper that you put together inside of a book and create an operational manual for your entire business. Listen, the SOP is important, okay? So many businesses don't do this. Therefore, they're just running their businesses blindly and just running rampant, and maybe they get it right and maybe they don't. And the things that they get right, they don't document it. And the things that they get wrong, they don't document it. So they don't know when it happened, how it happened, if what work should be repeated. And then when they want to repeat it, they can't exactly remember how they did it. Document your operating procedures, create a manual system that you can give to an assistant so that they can help you run your business, so that you can give one day to the future CEO of your company. Understand your why at a high level, by the way. Take time on this. It could take you 30 minutes. It could take you 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. It could take you a year. But understand your why at an extra high level, because it is what is going to help you create the message that goes out to the masses. And it helps you get up in the morning to be truthful with you, right? Your 531 is your 5-year, 3-year, and 1-year plan. Please remember, start with year 5 and just think big, man. I want you to think bigger than you ever thought before in your lives. Have fun with this. Just, man, if I did everything right and everything was perfect and everything happened exactly the way it was supposed to happen and I made the money that I wanted to make, where could I be in 5 years? That's what I want you to do. Don't even try to be super realistic with this, because what happens with people who try to be super realistic with this is that they create a glass ceiling and they push themselves down, 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 down. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be excited about what the future is bringing to you. So 5 years, 3 years, and then break it down to 1 year. And then remember, when you have that 1 year, you got to come up with that plan, piece by piece, scheduled out exactly where you're going to be or what you're going to be doing throughout that year to achieve the goals at the end of that year. Get to know your money in, money out. Where's it going? How's it happening? What's your returns on investments? What's your return on time? Where should you take money away from? Where should you add that money to? These are the important pieces. Remember, we said 80 to 85% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. Number one reason, finances. 80% of marriages fail in the first 5 years. Number one reason, finances, right? Do you want to fail due to finances because you were too lazy to get QuickBooks or too cheap to get an accountant? Don't be that person. Know your money and know where it's going. Know thyself and know others. We talked about the DISC profile. Again, in your book, in the resource section, there is a link to where you can get your DISC profile. Go to that link, get it for free. I encourage you to check it out. It's going to be super awesome. And it's going to help you leverage yourself and know where you are as a person. And then as you study that, you'll be able to study other personalities and how they interact. And I would suggest that you do significant research in this. I am Abelson certified or Abelson profile certified. Look up Abelson, see the teachings that they offer. There is a ton of information out there to help you truly understand profiles in such a way that you will learn how to implement mirroring techniques to be able to connect with people at a higher level, allowing them the opportunity to know, like, and trust you. And when you can do that, you create an opportunity to really focus on your avatar. And when you have the appropriate avatar, whatever that means to you, first timers, veterans, active duty military personnel, married couples, single people, young people, old people, people in your neighborhood, people outside your neighborhood, whatever that means to you and your business, understand who you are targeting. The SWOT analysis, remember we said, you don't have to do this just for the big picture of your business. You can also do it for ideas. So if you have a great idea, like, first of all, for the big business, yes, you want to do it for your business, right? You want to understand your strengths and weaknesses, and you want to understand opportunities and threats externally, right? So strength and weaknesses internal. What am I strong with? Where am I weak? Where is my business strong? Where is my business weak? And then opportunities and threats outside. What opportunities can we take advantage of? What threats could affect our business? But you can do this with planning too. Like if you have a new idea or something that you're going to implement, you're working on that innovation versus stagnation, right? And you go to innovate and you create something and you look at this thing, create a SWOT analysis for whatever that is. Where is it strong? Where is it weak? What opportunities can it take advantage of? And what threats would affect it? Leads. You cannot run a business that sells something without people to sell it to. And so we went deep in how we get these leads. What are some of the most effective ways we can get these leads? How we convert leads into leads into clients, clients into past clients, how we communicate with them, and then how we leverage those relationships to build more business. Now, leverage, understanding that once you get to a certain point, you can be the rock star all you want, but everybody has their limitations. And the only way that you can grow a significant business is by leveraging other people, getting them excited to work with you, building a strong team culture, doing the things necessary to help them make more money, allowing you the opportunity to scale your business. Everybody's happy. You're eating. You're doing more business than you ever were before. They're eating. Their family's eating. You've created that environment for them. They're forever grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the greatest opportunities that you can have, because not only is it you leveraging people to build your business, but it's also you creating massive, significant opportunities for people that they would have never gotten before. Sales and closing techniques. Having the appropriate understanding of different sales and closing techniques. This is huge, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you study this at a very high level, because as I mentioned, if you join the Freedom Achiever Academy, which is freedomachieveracademy.com, if you join the Freedom Achiever Academy, we have tremendous amounts of resources in there to help you understand sales techniques, the psychology behind sales, closing techniques, the right things to do at closing. Like, for instance, one of my favorite things to talk about is the psychology of actually connecting with somebody. The know, like, and trust piece requires three things, in my opinion, in my expert opinion, right? It requires sight, sound, and touch, right? So I am a big advocate of taking your phone, and when you get a new lead in, where's my phone? When you get a new lead in and it comes in, you immediately call that lead. When you call that lead, whether they pick up or don't pick up, doesn't matter. Whether you have a conversation, you don't have a conversation, doesn't matter. Your next step is to create a quick video for them and say, hey, Mrs. Lead, thank you for reaching out to me. I appreciate the conversation we just had. Just wanted to introduce myself face to face. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday when you come pick up your new bicycle, whatever it is, right? And so that face-to-face communication goes tremendous long way. As a salesperson, you're letting people know, you see me, you hear me, we've connected, you're 2/3 of the way through, and that person comes to pick up their thing or meet with you or whatever it is that they're going to be doing next. That handshake right there creates a personal connection. These are psychological pieces to sales, and helping you understand that is going to be a big part of our job. From the book, remember, my friend, luck is fickle. You can't depend on it to become successful. The best athletes, celebrities, and business professionals all have coaches. Allow this book to coach you to grow you in areas required in order to live a happy and successful business career. Also, consider joining the Freedom Achiever Academy and allow me the honor of personally coaching you to success, wealth, and happiness. Turn the page, find out how. I don't know why we put that in this presentation, but when you get into the next chapter, we talk about how to connect with us at a very high level. Looking forward to seeing you in that point. See you there.